Hello. For some reason, this seems really dark, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being a weirdo, man. Okay. I want to check something here real quick. Good. I guess I can bring this back up. Ooh, it's loud. Loud on my side at least. I don't know how to game mode actually. Oh, I do have game mode. It's just turned down. There. How's it going? It's been a pretty slow week for me this week. Let's see how this stream goes. I feel like the last stream was just very long. Not long, but like just a lot of walking. Hey Josh, how's it going? One second while I get all this stuff set up. Okay. I have these things. Hey Alex. You guys, well, I guess Alex, you're usually here quick, but I'm surprised you got here so quick, Josh. Oh. It's daytime now. Good, good. Oh, it's getting pretty close to the end of your break, right? For thing. I keep hearing back to school talk. It does just feel really dark for some reason to me. Oh, you passed out last time? That's okay. Nothing of exciting happened. Let me try adjusting this camera. Maybe I'm crazy, but. Not it. This just feels too bright. It's like, I feel like there should be a good in between here, but there's just not. I can zoom in. Oh, that zoom didn't do anything. Rest in peace. Okay. Alright, well, let me put this back down. Sorry, I don't know why this is being. Settings up. That's what I'm doing. Alright. Turn that back on. Turn that off. Turn that down. Turn this up. Turn this. No, I don't like that. Very exciting start of the stream. I don't know why this camera feels so bad. We're going to have to live with it though. Rest in peace. Yeah, I think the end of the last stream in general was kind of uneventful. I think Anthony was here briefly, and then I think he left, and then I think Zero was also here briefly, and then he ran off into something else. So it was a weird ending, but I also was like feeling generally fairly tired. So okay though, okay now. I've been like largely resting up in general, so well, let me take that back. I've been taking it slow. I maybe haven't been sleeping as much as I should, but that's pretty much my entire life. Because someday I'm gonna die from. That's my goal. I don't know. This just looks weird. I'm gonna go back to how it was, but I don't know if I'm happy with how it was. But technically, it's how it's always been, I guess. So. I wonder if something went wrong when I switched it between the that feels okay. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I give up. No, stream was not going. I don't host people either. That's like one of the things that and like when I go to sleep with streams on, sometimes you end up like down a real weird hole where like somebody will stream late into the night and then like you wake up the next day and there's like some random dude yelling and shouting in your house and you're like, whoa god, what's happening? But I don't really host other people. Maybe I should, but I don't really know anyone who streams around the time I do. So I don't know. Oh, jeez, it hurts. Well, hope you felt rested. My dad always tells me whenever I tell him I slept way too long, he's like, "Well, probably needed it." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I probably need to sleep more in general." Well, I think that's true of a lot of people. A lot of people these days are like, "Hey, I need to sleep more." So let's whack away at these worms again. I don't particularly remember what our goal is here. Oh, you know what? We're trying to find some place in the center of this desert. That's what it is. I also have a side quest to go look for something at some rocks. And did I drop down into the center here? I think I may have came down like a little ledge or something. So. Oh, yes. Heal me. Heal me. I'm gonna dance around you, please. Dear Jesus, please. But I have been taking it slow. I haven't done a ton. I think you commented on it today, Alex, but I did that one like pickups video, and that was pretty light on work. Although I did not realize how bad the autofocusing was until let's you know, I realized today when I was taking my trash out for some reason that I haven't eaten any of the cooking in here. I assume this is just like a healing thing. So let's eat some of this cooking. But this just looks like ingredients. This doesn't look like any of the food I made, does it? Is it in my item list? I feel like it's not in my item list. Like I don't see rosemary, aldehyde. Oh, here we go. What did the beef stew do? Okay, getting TP back? Is that what happened? Okay, HP, TP. Are any of these just HP? That's what I really need. We'll just use the beans here. I don't know what the spell names, so many of the spells in this game are. So it was like, press everything. Yeah, it's, I'm trying not to spend a lot of money on that setup right now over there, because I don't know if I'll be using it long term. So I basically just took the Logitech cam from here, but I already knew they were notorious for having focusing issues. And, you know, it's fine for when we're just sitting right here and, you know, nothing's moving. But if I'm, you know, trying to, I forgot the, what's it called in this game? Parts. If I'm just trying to, like, you know, if I'm moving stuff around, the focus gets weird. So I gotta figure out where, if I can disable that autofocus and then maybe just get the camera in focus. But then the problem with that is that, you know, if I do need to turn the focus on for any reason, like I'll have to go and like manually change the focus settings probably. So it's nighttime. So I do know there's some rocks I was supposed to find, but I'm just gonna keep going north for now. Or I guess this is east actually. I do have like a little hand camera around that my sister gave me at some point too. Most of my videos were using one of my mom's old cameras, and it did say HD on it, but it definitely was not HD. I think it was like maybe 480i or something like that. I don't remember what the actual video signal came out as, but oh, hello. But yeah, all my old videos that you see me in the camera, I was using that thing, and my stepdad was trying to do photography, and I basically stole his tripod because he stopped trying to do photography. And I used this tripod for a very long time. And when I did my 3DS reviews, I basically just took that camera and oh my gosh, that hurts. Basically just took that camera and then just shoved it into the 3DS screen, which was not a great way to capture. I pretty quickly realized it was not something I wanted to do long term because it was kind of a pain in the butt. Whoops. Oh, please, Ruby, you're a healer. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's dead. My nose is burning for some reason. But sometimes you gotta make do with what you do, and honestly, I mean, for at least how I feel, you know, raising the quality of your stuff is great. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say I have great quality video stuff. Like, I think that one video alone is just, like, enough to show that, like, hey, sometimes, like, having low quality video is fine. Maybe not fine, but, like, you know, I'm accepting of it because I don't want to invest a bunch of money into something I know I'm not, or I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, do significantly. But, like, you know, if the content is good enough, I feel like the video itself doesn't matter a ton. Like the quality doesn't matter a ton if you make, like, the writing quality good. That's not to say that, like, you know, if you're trying to be professional or something, you wouldn't want to do that. But if you're just doing it for a hobby, just having a good time, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, I feel like anyone who casts magic in this game is, like, a nightmare on the field. I wish I knew what megapixels and stuff were. I always forget. So I have no idea if that's good or bad. But I do need to figure out when I go to Japan if I want to bring, like, a camera or if I just want to, like, try to use my cell phone. I got turned around. I need to go north. Because with cell phone I have to worry about, you know, like, battery life and stuff. And if I'm taking a bunch of pictures, I'll be probably draining my battery. My phone battery isn't what it used to be. Oh, I don't have any TP. So. That sounds impressive, but I have no idea if it actually is or not. I also need to buy winter clothes. I really haven't been in a place where it, like, snows before. Like, it snowed in Georgia off and on, but not, like, you know, honestly, in southern Georgia down where I was at, or not really southern Georgia, but, you know, it was not North Georgia. We really just got ice is all we got. We didn't actually get any real snow usually. Once, like, I think a couple times when I was out there, we got snow, but it was very rare. Usually it's just a bunch of ice on the road, and then we couldn't leave the house because there was ice everywhere. It's super dangerous to go around. Yeah, shit. Oh, no, I don't want to be there. I want to be behind you. Alright. Okay. Yeah, you know. It's probably better than whatever I was using. I honestly have no idea what that camera was. I recently went back and I did get, like, I didn't keep the camera, but I did grab all the files I left on it, and so those are sitting around here somewhere now. I'm guessing that's where I need to be. I didn't see any kind of, like, rock formation stuff. We'll double check this rock formation, but I'm guessing, I don't know. This isn't really a rock formation. Like, I don't know. There is something down there that's glowing. Do we want to take the detour is the question, though. I will probably need to heal soon. Oops. that. I am hurting. I did watch someone. Who did I watch today? Let me pull up my history here. I actually watched like a couple of new like YouTube channels this week that I actually liked quite a bit. The only problem with one of them is that he mainly does like game pickup videos, and it's funny to say this after I literally just made my own. Most of the time I don't really I don't really watch people's game pickup videos as much. I like looking at a picture of like what people have gotten, but video-wise, it's kind of whatever. I guess it depends on like how it's presented. Like kind of the reason I did what I was. Let's go see that green thing. I want to know what it is. Like part of the reason why I did that is because I had the intention that I was going to play those games a little bit, and I was going to put some footage with it. So I knew that I was going to be doing more than just staring at the camera, or like facing the camera at a box. And I knew that even though I wasn't going to have a ton of knowledge about what the game was, I would have at least played some of it and had like known more first-hand knowledge rather than just like what I knew about the game already kind of thing. And so I think that's why I was like okay doing it. Because I think if I just sat there and pointed the camera in a box and then was just like, I bought this because of this, I don't know if I would have been as interested in doing that, I guess. So going on my way to get some footage for it and then show it off and then be like, hey, this is cool, and like, you know, I could sit there and be like, hey, you know, Glass Rose looks like it might be like maybe kind of not great. Like it's probably gonna be fine, but it maybe didn't like, you know, give the best first impression. Where like sort of Etheria, I really didn't expect anything out of that game. I thought it was just gonna be like a hack and slash kind of thing, and that game is really cool, and I really want to play that game at some point, but we'll see. I'm very glad my friend, I don't know if he convinced me to get it, more or less just kind of rushed me into choosing something, and I was like, I guess actually he literally bought me a copy without without me asking. I just said that I was looking for, you know, your PAL games, and I said I don't really know if I want sort of Etheria, and then he went ahead and bought it for me. Kind of. It was a weird situation. He like bought the Japanese version for me, and I'm like, oh no, the whole reason I buying from you is because I don't want the Japanese version, I want the PAL version. So he gave me his copy instead. Apparently he's never played the game. I don't know why he was so convinced he wanted to get me a copy of Sword of Eteria, other than maybe just it was easier to get than trying to get me anything else, probably. Yeah. Oh yeah, let me look up to see who that was. He was posting in the Famicom Dojo Discord. My Discord group sure hasn't come along at all. Great, recommended video. What does Bill Gates do for his hobbies? Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. I went to the studio. I don't like how YouTube breaks up its studio and what's it called. I kind of wish I could just do everything at once. I think it used to be combined, but maybe they... let's see what we got here. It's To The Games. He had a pretty good video about, you know, that whole thing of that dude who like basically traded a paperclip for a house, basically. Like he basically traded up over and over and over again. He's basically doing that, but instead of like maybe doing something as novel and like the thing with the paperclip for a house thing was, I feel like at some point people were in on what he was doing and kind of were willing to give up stuff more than they normally would because they were petrified, please let me out, because they knew he was trying to trade it to a house, so they're willing to you know, do a bad trade, where this dude is basically just buying and selling games and trading them in and stuff. And his one rule is that he can't just sit there and continue to do the same thing over and over again. So like he traded in 2.50 like PlayStation Move games for like $2 each. Had like not a Goodwill. He's in like New South Wales or something like that. Or maybe he's in New Zealand. I don't remember. But basically he what's going on here? What is this thing? Okay, that's the. I think that was the side quest item we needed. So I guess the question is, do we want to go turn it in? Like, I don't know if we'll come back to this town or not. Let's go turn it in. Let's go see what's up. I know this is a huge waste of time, but we're gonna go do it. Yeah. He was pretty. It's pretty silly. So he basically traded up to do. He's trying to trade to get Shadow the Colossus or something, and trying to figure that out. So I thought it was a pretty cool video. But yeah, he like most of his videos are like game pickup videos, and so I just kind of more or less was like, yeah. I should watch them. I should make sure they're actually good rather than just like judging them from what I see of it. And then I also started watching this one kid, really young guy. I think he's like 16. Thomas Game Docs. I think he recently. I could be wrong about this. I think he recently gained like a fairly large following. It seemed like he maybe was picking up steam late last year, and then kind of got there, but you know, his videos look very clickbaity in terms of like the icons and the titles. Like sometimes the titles, like he says the copyright strike that almost killed Zelda or something like that, and you know, it's not really that it almost killed Zelda. It more or less just kind of put them in a predicament kind of thing, where it was like, oh, they accidentally used some song they thought was in public domain and it wasn't, and so last minute they had to change the song. I don't know if that really almost killed Zelda. Like, if they had to delay it, then, you know, so be it kind of thing. You know, it was important they got it out because it's a Famicom Disk System game, but, you know, it wasn't like that. But it is, he titles it the one that almost killed Zelda kind of thing. And but the videos themselves are really good. He has a great voice as well. I think he's in the UK maybe. That being said, like, British accents are always just great. So yeah, he makes some really good stuff, and it seems like he's really built up a following, and he's done some interesting videos. I'd say a lot of them are common knowledge, but the presentation of them are pretty good. He puts a lot of time and effort into that. You know, I don't really know where he's doing his research, like if he's doing like full-scale research or if he's just kind of like, you know, pulling in his research from other people. Like sometimes people will just go to like the cutting room floor and then make videos based off the cutting room floor. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I've considered doing like a video about the Final Fantasy VII Dirt to Cerberus multiplayer stuff. You know what, the city's up here. I started the game down here. I'm being silly. Yeah, I think YouTube has definitely pushed really hard to get their content to be the main focus, and honestly, I feel kind of bad about it, but I feel like a lot of my subscriptions, I don't really look at anymore. I probably need to narrow my subscriptions down. I spent a lot of time following a lot of Japanese publishers on there, and it ends up with like a lot of junk in there, unfortunately. And like part of me loves having all that junk. Like I love seeing all the Otome Boy games that everyone's putting out, or like there was a while where Bandai Namco had an amazing YouTube channel, and they were just putting out like garbage that had nothing to do with their games, but it was great. And they're not so much anymore. Most of it's more just kind of promotional material and things like that. So like I could probably just slim that list down and make my subscriber feed a bit more, or subscription feed a bit more manageable, readable. I saw that well that guy who's doing the trade up, I was recommended that through Famicom Dojo. So somebody in there, well, I think literally him posted in there about the video he made. But yeah, I watched his like Britney's dance review, and I enjoyed the review. I'm not so big, and you know, I used to do this too, and I think there are people who still want me to do this kind of content, but like I'm not super big on the skit content anymore. I think it's great in like the short term for me, like when I make like when I write a joke down, it seems funny, and it's like it's good to do it and like make the skit. But I think long term, you know, when I go back and look at it a year or two later, it's difficult for me to really like feel good about it sometimes. Like the Rodeo review, I think that one is full of stuff, and it's not necessarily a bad video. It's just maybe how I wouldn't do it today. But I mean, that's people want entertainment, so like I don't think there's necessarily a bad thing about it. So, but like the last like 7 minutes of his video was like him playing into some joke, and it was fine. Like I didn't hate it. But at some point I kind of lost interest and just kind of went into something else. But the main video is great, and like, you know, that's what matters. Is like, you know, the first half of the video was very well written, and he was pretty funny in his stuff. I think the big thing is, you know, when you're making the videos, at least for me, like I review my videos pretty often to kind of like see where I can improve. Probably more than I should. I kind of review them. A lot of times I look at them to like remember how I do pacing and stuff. Like sometimes I forget what my pacing is, and I try to like remind myself of how I pace stuff. And so like I go back and rewatch stuff, and jokes and humor does not age well in that way. So stay time. All right, there's that city. I don't know why this map is so hard for me to read. I mean, the compass should make it obvious. But yeah. All right. Yeah, I think Jeremy Parrish does really good stuff, but I haven't watched a ton of his stuff lately. I really should watch more of it probably. I also think the 8-Bit guy does some really good stuff, but I think he's super popular at this point, so I don't think anyone would be like, oh, you watch the 8-Bit guy or anything like that. I think it's pretty common that people do. My friend is really into Metal Jesus Rocks, I think. I don't know much about Metal Jesus Rocks other than like once in a blue moon, my friend links me to a video of him talking about some new like HDMI adapter thing. And most of the time I don't really need anything to do with it. I think the one exception was the GameCube one. I did go ahead and buy the GameCube one. That's how I do HDMI with my GameCube right now. Is I have the one that was like developed by that one guy rather than Eon. So. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's great that you learn from that, and like, I think the important thing is like, maybe I have a different feeling on this, but I like leaving that stuff online. I definitely like my uncle like delisted a bunch of his videos because he's like, oh, I can't look at them anymore or whatever. I'm like, no, just they're like, that's part of your evolution, and people get to see that. And you know, maybe when they go back in your channel history, it's not, you know, the most amazing content for them, but it's interesting. You get to see kind of where a person was before and how they got to where they are. Give me, or take it. I forget what she was sick and she couldn't leave. Was that what it was? Heal ring. All right, what does heal ring do? Oh, we're Maya's friend now. She's just gonna go burn outside. Okay. This cheddar box is empty in it, yeah. Was that worth it? Who can say? Let's find out what it is. I don't think I've equipped a lot of this stuff on anyone, so. Restore additional HP at the end of the battle. That's not terrible. Let's check out, see what we got here. Automatically revive one time during battle. That's not bad, actually. Reduce spellcasting by 1/3. Fire damage by 50%. Wind damage by 50%. What is Dara's emblem? Increase accuracy. That's just increased attack power. This is just increased defense, I assume. Oops. Slightly increased defense. Should I put... So here's the question. I don't know. I mean, spellcasting's probably good, right? You should send them to me sometime. I'd be curious to see them. I'll go in knowing that you actually don't like them all that much. Or at least it sounds like you maybe don't like them that much. Whoops, that was a gate he had equipped. What is a gate? Increase max HP. I don't think that's really important. We'll just... Tilkus will just increase his attack. Like, part of me is like, hey, she's my healer, so if she dies, I want her to come back alive. But at the same time, she's so like, everybody's terrible at healing. is the problem. So, like, part of me is like, maybe I should be the one that's wearing the revival thing. So I revive once. So if I do get knocked down, I might have a better chance at saving the situation. Sorry, my nose is giving me trouble tonight. Okay. So can we equip multiple accessories? Increase defense. Increase accuracy. We can. So Tilkus, give me this back, actually. I want to be attack man. Move, give me attack. And what does titles do? Oh, I didn't know that titles gave me stuff. So what does Maya's friend do? Plus 20, plus 50% or 50 TP, agility plus 10. Proof that you healed Maya in Loris. I mean, 50 TP is quite a bit. Combo expert's probably the best. Can I? Oh, I can put other people's. Okay. Maybe I should have looked at the menus in this game earlier. I think me and Zero were talking about this recently. I think anime reviews are really hard. I think he had a pretty good explanation of why he thought anime reviews were hard. I don't know if I particularly agreed 100%, but I saw where he's coming from. I don't know why I think anime writing and coverage is very hard. I don't know why it's so hard. God of the Church. Okay, basically nothing. TP plus 10. So I guess just this seems to be maybe the best thing to do. Gonna guess this has nothing on it. Yep. He did get combo expert. Dear brother. Comboist. 50 HP. I think combo expert is probably the best for attack people. And alright. Proof that leaves a pops question mark? Captured Lycanth. He did not get Combo Master. I think that's probably the best for that. Priestess. Oh, I can go up and down after I have details. That's nice. Okay. Intelligence probably is the one we want. Okay, question is, what do we want to do? Whoops. Ah! Nullify seal. Nope, not discard details. I wonder if this will equip, like, since they're not in battle, if we'll get HP. Or if that's only if they're in the fight with us. What does Stand Firm do? Let's give him the HP. Defense, accuracy. Alright, I think we're good. I think everybody has their weapons equipped right now. Yeah. Is this an inn? Let's stay here. Yeah, the views thing, the voice thing is weird too. If you go and look at some of my videos from like maybe 2015 or something, or maybe before that, slightly before that, I guess it was probably like maybe 2014, 2013. I basically sounded like I was trying to be Mark from Classic Game Room. I mean, I liked Classic Game Room videos a lot back then, and I was always very surprised just like how quickly he could chunk videos out. Well, I don't regret going and doing that per se, but it was a lot of time. It was like 40 minutes to go do that, like between everything. That being said, I don't remember how we got down here, but I think we could just kind of go this way and go back up. Getting used to your own voice is a hard thing, and especially if you like are trying to do something with your voice. I will say when I read scripts, I definitely emphasize more words than if I am just like talking normally. I don't know what it is about script reading that makes you do that. It's funny what stuff gets reviewed or gets views. I have a Frontier Gate video from forever ago. It has like 6,000 views, and it's like a really awful video, like terrible quality. I don't want to say it's really awful video, but the quality on it is really awful. I have not watched it in a very long time. It was kind of like the prototype quick play stuff, where I basically downloaded some Japanese demos off the PlayStation Network and just played Japanese games for a little while. Frontier Gate's a cool game. I need to play it someday. I don't think anyone's fan translating it or anything. Sonic Forces I really do want to play someday, though. It seems like a, let me say this. I was not impressed by the demo I played of Sonic Forces. When I was at GameStop Expo that year that it came out, I played a little bit of it, and I have to say that it maybe wasn't I was playing one of the 2D sections, and it just did not feel particularly great. But you know, I haven't played the rest of the game. That also is pre-release, so they could have cleaned it up since then. That, or I could have just like sometimes it's just a matter of like getting used to the controls. So yeah, I don't want to sit there and say it's a bad game or anything. I do know people didn't particularly like it. A lot of people didn't, or at least let me see. Most of the mainstream media did not like Sonic Forces, but honestly, I don't think the mainstream media likes Sonic at all. So, so you're probably not getting what you need out of like a review if you're going to IGN for a Sonic Forces review, because they're probably going to review it bad. You know, I don't want to say that they don't potentially deserve it per se, but you know, I do think that you know, if you go in with your expectations in check, or you have a certain expectation of what Sonic games are, I think it's a lot more reasonable. And that, and people are over very, very quick to overly criticize games, I feel like sometimes. Or maybe not overly criticize them, but maybe get a little more riled up about stuff that doesn't matter. Like minor things. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think I would like Sonic Forces. I have a few friends who are into it, but they're also very much you know, the traditional Sonic fan base. So I think if you're okay with that stuff, and I like Sonic games. Like, I'm not a big Sonic Generations fan, but I do like Sonic Colors. I do like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I liked Sonic Heroes, and then I went through a phase where I did not like Sonic Heroes, so I don't know where I stand on Sonic Heroes. Sonic Unleashed seems cool. I do want to play Sonic 06 at some point. I like Sonic and the Secret Rings. Sonic and the Black Knight looks pretty alright too. So like, I'm definitely like there on, hey, I'm cool to check out a Sonic game. I do think that like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think people are necessarily not justified for how they feel about those games. I do think those games, maybe, I don't want to say they lack polish, but there is like a jank to Sonic games. But you know, I think if you're into Sonic games, you don't really like what's important isn't that part of it, I guess. Or at least the part that you like. And so if you're going in, like, you know, expecting, like, hey, this is just kind of how Sonic games play, and, you know, does Sonic, like, benefit from playing this way? You know, like, Bethesda games and stuff. Bethesda games are technical messes, but it's, like, a part of their design that they're that way. You know, it's just not because they design it that way, but it's a necessary sacrifice for what they're creating. And, you know, Sonic is in a unique position where they have to make a game that typically goes real fast. And you know, Sonic has a very specific history that they need to, like, you know, maybe they don't need to, but I think they feel the need to address in terms of, like, you know, making the game a specific way. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. But it's kind of just what it is right now, and like, I don't want to seem like I'm saying that Sonic games are bad, because I don't think they are, but I think most people would probably agree that those games have their problems in the same way that I think Castlevania 64 has its problems, but it does certain things super well. Or if not super well, it does things it has its unique things to it, you know? Like, I know I have friends that really loved. So I think what I might need to do is actually, that's a cliff over there, so I might need to go down and around, actually. So I think I might have been on the wrong path earlier. I don't know. You probably don't need me to say that. You probably know well enough. Probably just preaching to the choir on that stuff. It's a cool series of games, though. I definitely want to spend more time with Sonic. I've bought a lot of Sonic games, but you don't want to see my earliest reviews. They're on the website, with the exception of my Shenmue 2 review, which is maybe the worst review I ever did. All of my reviews are on my website, and unfortunately, I think I lost the original versions because at some point I went back and edited them and did not keep the original drafts. And then even when I went back and edited them, they still were bad. So yeah, you live and learn. I mean, you were younger than me then when I started writing, so like, you got plenty of time. I've been doing this for 10 years, and, you know, I probably should have improved more over the course of 10 years, but I should have a good time. Enjoying it. I will say redoing stuff is a significant, like, amount of time, unless you're, like, really passionate about, you know, like, presenting Sonic Forces in a specific way. At least from how I see it, I'm like, maybe I should just move on to something else and just, like, do something new. Like focus on something else. I don't know of any situations where I've re-reviewed things. I do know I do have some articles. So I had, like, a period of time, this is maybe like 2015, that I had kind of like a project. There's a Tumblr page called Video Gaming Bits. And basically my goal was every day I did a random roulette, the fortune cookie, as I've called it on the podcast, but I basically did the random roulette of games in my library, and then wrote about them, and it created a lot of, like, very rough stuff that I kind of would revisit a few times. And so on my website I have, like, 3 different articles writing about snow and Shenmue. But they all were like extending out the same idea, and they're all basically rough drafts of what would eventually become the final article. So actually, once I'm done cleaning up the website, that's one thing I need to do is go back and find those articles that are kind of repeat themselves, and maybe I'll just go ahead and hide them if they are very similar. Just because there's not really a reason to have 3 Shenmue articles dedicated to like, how winters are in Shenmue. So. Is there even a new Sonic game like announced at this point? I know they did that Sonic Mania like Plus expansion, but like when it comes to like 3D Sonics, I don't think they've announced anything. I want to play Sonic Boom at some point. I was looking at a copy the other day, and it was slightly more expensive than I was willing to pay at the time for something that I knew I wouldn't play anytime soon. Not that the game isn't worth the price. I think it was like maybe $15. And like the game's probably worth $15, but in terms of sitting on my shelf for 10 years, $15, who knows? Everybody does that. Everyone has that opening at some point. It's okay though. You're good. People know. And it's like you just gotta work that stuff out, and you know, it's stuff you just gotta figure out. One problem I still have is I still use what do they call, like turn of phrases still, where it's like you just use like an overused saying. I do it all the time. But I've never had an editor, so well, it's not that I never have had an editor, but I've never had a good editor who actually challenged me on my work. So I think I built up some bad habits when writing that I still have today. Team Sonic Racing, that did come out. I forgot about that. Then there's the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. That's coming out. I keep seeing everybody post Eggman with his shirt off. Like, yeah. Ow. I think Sonic Riders will probably be the next Sonic game I play. I know that's not really a real Sonic game, but it seems like the trajectory I'm on. But I'm kind of getting back to that point where like I'm finishing up Wii Ski. I'm working on Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer stuff. With Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer stuff is actually really fun. I like it quite a bit. It's a shame that like nobody's playing it, or I don't want to say nobody's playing it, because basically how the game is structured is like you have to. You said I was full on lemon gel. Basically, how the game is structured is you queue up for a quest, and then it sees if anybody's looking for that quest, and then if you can't find anybody, it will just put you in with AI. So like if you're queuing up for low-level quests and somebody else is doing low-level quests, you know, you're on your own. You know, nobody level 99 is queuing up for level 88 quests, I'm sure. So maybe the game's livelier than I thought, and I just haven't gotten to the part of the game where people are actually active. But you know, I'm still really enjoying it. I forgot why I was saying that. Oh, because I basically it sounds like there's kind of 2 phases to the Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer stuff. So I'll probably finish up phase 1 and then come back for phase 2 later. So there's some stuff there, but I'm gonna ignore it for now and just go to the city because we've already wandered this desert for so long. So once I finish up Wii Ski, and then once I finish up Final Fantasy 15, like the first part of Final Fantasy 15, I'm not really sure what I'm doing next for my own playtime stuff. I know I'm going to play some Rhythm Thief at some point and prepare to do that for a quick play. I don't know when that's going to happen though. it's just, you know. I mean, I'm gonna guess you're trying not to, like, you're not trying to make money off this. And if you're not trying to make money off it, like me, then you know, just do what makes you happy, man. Worry about it when you're making money off of it, because once you're making money off of it, then you're like actually committed to somebody. My uncle was a fairly popular Star Citizen YouTuber. I have no idea how popular, if it was like livable or whatever. But he stopped following Star Citizen and started making videos about other things, and his entire audience just went away because he became the Star Citizen guy, you know? It's part of why, like, I'm doing, like, part of the why that I think about variety when I think about my streams, because I don't want anyone to be like, hey, you're the Japanese PS2 game guy, or you're this, or you're that. Like, I kind of just want to be able to do whatever and not feel, oh, I'm an idiot, I need to go to that castle in the middle, this is what I get for talking while I was playing this video game. Oh, Alex, what am I doing? I'm gonna waste this entire stream walking up and down this desert. Anyways. Oh, I'm a dummy. I'm a big old dummy. I'm so angry at myself right now. Anyways, video games. Anyways, point being, I don't want people to think I'm one thing, and I'll continue to try to do that. That sucks. Yeah, I'm definitely a believer of, hey, if you have a problem, you need to let me know, because then it won't ever improve. So, like, you know, getting a thing where it's like, hey, one more and you're kicked out, but then you, like, they never told you. Like, I get it, it's like a noise problem and stuff, but let me know it's a noise problem. Don't just do that. But, yeah, I don't know. But it's why I'm thinking about, like what I've been playing more recently was I played Resident Evil, so I kind of want to stay away from survival horror. I've played 2D action platformers, and so I'm like, well, I want to stay away from that. I've also played some early 3D platforming games, so I kind of don't want to do like Tiny Bullets or something like that right now. And so I'm just like trying to think about, you know, what is going to be the most different from what I've already done, because I think variety is cool. I like looking at my website and there's just like a bunch of different weird stuff on the website, and I'm like, that's cool. Like, the more different, the better I feel. So, like I don't know, like I literally was considering maybe streaming like some Call of Duty on the Wii or something like that, and like, yeah, sure, it's my, you know, me playing it on the Wii. So that's kind of like, you know, up my alley, but at the same time, I don't think anybody wants to come to me for Call of Duty. But at the same time, like, what if I want? I do need to play a Call of Duty game. It's been literally, I think, 10 years since I've played Call of Duty, so. And I like Call of Duty series. I liked Call of Duty 1, and I thought the expansion, I think United Offense, was pretty good. And I also thought, I wasn't a huge fan of Call of Duty 2. I know a lot of people like Call of Duty 2. It wasn't really for me. I think the problem was just that it was too much the same. And then Call of Duty 3 was kind of more the same, but worse because of Treyarch. But the Wii version had some really silly things in it, like setting bombs and stuff. You had to actually do a bunch of like hand motions for that. And I thought that was really cool. And, you know, sure, it probably was very gimmicky. But like that really livened that game up for me, especially, you know, in general, just like having a Wii shooter where you can use the pointer controls. And, you know, at the time, people hadn't really figured out how shooters worked on the Wii, so, you know, it wasn't particularly a good controlling version of the game. But it was interesting. Like the most vivid memory I have of Call of Duty 3, and this is kind of something I talked about this a little bit in like the pickups video, is like with Wii games, sometimes you just gotta let the developers have their fun. And so, like, yeah, sure, like there's a part in Call of Duty 3 where like you put a bomb on a thing and you have to like twist the thing on the bomb until it's tightened up, and then you have to pull it out. And I'm gonna guess if you just sat there and shook the controllers, it'd be like, cool, man, you did it. But like if you sit there and like, you know, actually do the thing of like, you know, smack it, you know, put the nunchuck on there and just like twist it like that, it's like a really neat feeling to do that, and like to pull it. It just feels really cool. And you know, the game tells you to do that. You probably don't have to do that. But then if you don't start doing that stuff, it kind of introduces problems where like, hey, the motion controls are like aiming to read this specific thing, and you know, motion controls are kind of inherently unreliable already. So when you start like doing different motions than what the game is typically expecting, you're kind of introducing that other element of you know, there being problems with like how it engages. Well, I'm glad to know you'd watch me play Call of Duty. That makes me feel better about maybe wanting to play Call of Duty, maybe. Alright, so I have no idea how I need to get... So I think that's it over there, over that hill. But I don't really... I think to the right, there might be a little thing I can go up over, but I'm worried that if I go up there, there's going to be like a cliffside if I go there. Yeah, I actually have 2 copies of Call of Duty Black Ops, one on the 360 and one on the Wii. I'm actually not that interested in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, so that makes me even more, you know, thinking that I probably should play it on the Wii. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I do want to play because it has that like little arena thing in the story where like you kind of maneuver around, and like I think you can move drones around and stuff. I remember it being not like very well liked part of that game, but I thought it looked really cool, and that was something I wanted to check out. I think it's a very minor part of that game though. So like if I were to play Call of Duty Black Ops 2, it'd be like a commitment to play something that's let's go this way. I feel like this is maybe a bad choice. It'd be like a commitment to, you know, play the rest of that game for maybe like the hour worth of interesting content. All the story of Call of Duty Black Ops goes places. Like, I don't know about Black Ops 4, and, you know, admittedly Black Ops 4 doesn't have a single-player campaign, so who's to say, you know, how in-depth that story really is. But Black Ops 3, like, sounded like a kind of crazy mind break game, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really want to use mind break because that's a loaded term, but that's what came to mind. Oh, I'm purple. Way too easy. I'm actually off of work tomorrow. I will be working on Labor Day, so I am getting the day off early. Probably gonna work on Labor Day. We have a big thing coming up at work, so, and the less people contacting us while we're doing the big thing, the better. So basically, I'm taking out this week, and then my coworker will be taking out next week, and then not the week, but the Friday of that week. So I think I'm just gonna try to work on my Japan trip a bit more. My dad was telling me about some tool called Trip 2 or something, and he recommended I try that. So we're almost done. We are almost at this thing here. We are finally at the thing that I could have been at maybe 40 minutes ago, but I decided I was going to go turn into Sand Lily, and then I decided to run all the way up the desert. Like the dummy I am. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the quick play this weekend. I haven't really thought about that. I'm not gonna have a big video this month, unfortunately, but I've been trying not to think about that too much until I get Japan stuff figured out. So, but I think in the next week or so I will have solidified a lot of my Japan plans and figured out. Oh, Josh, I don't think I told you yet, because I know you've been to Japan. I decided I was gonna go to Osaka, so that's gonna be a good time, I think. And then like, this is maybe not the best choice, especially for someone like me who's filled with anxiety. But one thing I kind of want to do is, we did it. We made it. We're here. There's a bunch of lions. We're gonna beat them all up. But one thing I'm thinking about doing is, I was looking at the Hunex offices and I was like, they're not that far from Tokyo. Oh no, they're all rocks. And I was like, maybe I go to the Hunex office and just take a picture of the sign while I'm there. Like maybe put a game up to it, take a picture, and go. I just hope nobody sees me. The sign is literally just in the walkway of the building. It's like, and not even the walkway. It's like an indent into where it goes into like a staircase. So you can just go like right up to it without having to trespass or anything like that. And I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to speak with anyone. I don't want to go anywhere close to anything. I just want to go there in 30 seconds, go, and then leave. I thought that might be a silly thing to do. There's a nice park literally across the street from their building, so I may do that. That might be something that ends up on my list of things to do. They turned my dad to stone, right? So I'm guessing this is a continuation of that. I wonder if there's gonna be battles in this city. Or if it's just gonna be an exploration thing. Like, is this a dungeon, I guess is the question. Well, we have a save point. Can I sleep here? Get a Yellowstone from here? But yeah, I think we're, in terms of like Tales of the Tempest, if you mean that being almost done, I think we're maybe halfway through the game. Maybe. I think usually like level 50 is typically like around the time a game starts to end. So like whenever it gets like level 50, level 60, I'm like, yeah, we're probably wrapping things up. But yeah, I guess like whoopsie. Call of Duty. So the games I'm thinking of, and you guys are welcome to give feedback. And I think you saw what I posted on Twitter already, Alex. But Call of Duty, Gun Valkyrie. I think I'm gonna shy away from Headhunter. I don't know what to do in here. There's nothing to do in here, right? Yeah. I think I'm gonna shy away from Headhunter because that is a third-person shooter, and it does kind of play like spy fiction a little bit. Is this? You know what? This is a door. This is not. I thought for some reason the camera swapped on me. Oops. I didn't want to come up here yet, but okay. I thought the camera swapped on me and that was the way to leave town, and I don't know why my brain thought that. Maybe because the camera's a little weird in this game anyways, so. A locked off portion in the sewer. I can't remember. Don't waste your time. Oh no, it's our friend and enemy. Rami is an enemy, and then what's his face is whatever. This line right here is maybe the sign of a JRPG that doesn't have a great antagonist. Oh, I'm sure I probably could have done that puzzle. I probably just didn't feel like it. If it's the sliding block puzzle, I'm pretty sure I could have done it, but I was just like, eh. Probably just like a treasure chest back there or something. Anytime a game is like, hey, gonna wipe the world of the human scum, that means it. Or I guess not in this case humans, but I think you said like the ogres and the, what's it called? The Lemurians. Mornians. Oh. Is this an actual fight? Okay, there we go. Yeah, in terms of like, I forget if I ever got to it earlier, but like in terms of what I'll personally play after Final Fantasy 15 and Wii Ski, I actually don't really know. I think maybe Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet's gonna happen. The final DLC for that. I'm gonna finally finish that up so I can finally take this thing off my shelf. Do I have anything else up here? I'll probably take a look at Lost Kingdoms 2. I'm still trying to finish up God Eater, but I'm kind of limited by what my group can do with God Eater, so there's still some single player stuff I need to do in God Eater, so it's not a huge deal if I go out of my way to play some stuff, because God Eater 2 in particular has content that can only be done by yourself. So. I tried to open the PS4 controller and I accidentally stripped the screw. So I maybe not the greatest person for advice. Hey Zero, how's it going? You came at a great time, Zero, of actual progress rather than me running up and down a desert for an hour. I need life. So hopefully you actually get something out of this stream. How you doing, Zero? A lot of nothing has been going on. I did save or not really save, but I made the little girl in the town better. I gave her the sand lily, and it made her feel good. And then I ran up the desert on accident, and then had to run all the way back down because I wasn't paying attention and I was just fighting things. Is this face supposed to matter? It's weird that they're like, oh, the reveal of his face, and then everybody's just like, who are you? Like, unless there's something going on with this face? No, he just looks like he has normal anime eyes or something. Or she. I really don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I think it's a guy. Goodbye. Yeah, everything's been good. Just whacking away. Yeah, exactly. Oh, speaking of race car, made me think of this because stock car racing and Yakuza. But I'm actually excited that Yakuza collection is coming out. The physical collection that has Yakuza 3 through 5 in it. Oh, and there's a War Zero, and the red gem in my hand is 10,000 souls inside of it. That's what happened story-wise. The church is evil. Is there any RPG that's pro-religion? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that. The being a PS3 case for the PS4 release. I'm trying to think if there's ever an RPG I've played where like the church was good. You can include indie stuff, but I'll have no idea what you're talking about, probably. I will say this about, like, any game that has a low resolution. I really appreciate cutscenes that get really close because you can actually see, like, how the characters look. Like one of my favorite scenes in Final Fantasy IX is that ending scene with like Zidane walking down or like stumbling down the hallway, and you get like goes into the battle, and you get a lot of like really close-ups on like Steiner and stuff like that. And like a lot of the problem with Final Fantasy IX is everything's always so zoomed out. Like there's a ton of like charm in these character designs, and you just can't see any of it because the resolution's so low. Hey Sheree, how's it going? It is busy tonight in here for some reason. I'm just playing the greatest JRPG of all time. Can you believe it? The church is bad. I do like Lucius so far. Lucas? I don't know if you pronounce that Lucas. He's that fun character who's like evil, but then is like questioning his thoughts kind of thing. Ragnarok Online. Oh no, you're changed by... Yeah. JRPG, the church is bad. Congratulations. We're in a big long cutscene right now, so... Not really a long cutscene, but it is a cutscene. I will say, like, this fan translation, I haven't noticed, like, any problems with this at all. I mean, admittedly, I don't play fan translations very often, but, like, this seems really solid, especially for a game that was translated as an April Fool's joke. Alright, now I get, well, like, part of me is like, oh no, I have to rely on that other lady to heal, but Rubia just got as bad as healing. Part of me is like, hey, what if I unequip everything except for Cure on the healer? Maybe that would make them a better healer. Alright, what do we got here? Formation? No, not formation. I forgot how to move characters. Formation, members, okay. Caius. Let's put Forrest back in the party, and then Aria's gonna be the other one. And then who needs what? I kind of like Restore TP, because then it means I can do more, but let's see. So if I move Agility and Intelligence, I need to swap these two. So Defense Agility, Attack and Accuracy, and then Attack, Accuracy, Defense, Agility, Intelligence, Agility. I think that's good. From what I understand with Sigma Harmonics is that game, because it uses the text in like the top to down like style, they really would have to rework a lot of how the text works in that game. Admittedly, this is something that people were saying like years and years ago. I didn't really get to explore this place, so I'm actually going to walk back in here a little bit and just kind of poke around a little bit, see if we can get some items and stuff. Assuming... I actually don't know where they actually want me to go, but I'll go back in there. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever gonna translate Sigma Harmonics. All these doors go outside for some reason. It's a nice game though. I'd like to spend time with it. I keep thinking about doing Private Idol on the stream, but I'm full of Peninsula bottles. Is it the healing bottle? Or revival bottle? Or can I use that on somebody? I think that's the revival one. Oh, status effects. Okay, that's not a big deal. Life bottle is the other one. Alright. Dig through these books. I'm actually not really finding much of anything. Oh, found something. Did not read what it was because I was mashing A. But yeah. Sigma Harmonics will happen someday, but it's one of those games that I either have to learn more Japanese or be very patient with. Fluorite, okay. Which I've found with PCFX, like, the big thing is patience. Like, if you can spend the time to figure out what's going on in the game, sometimes, like, knowing Japanese doesn't really matter nearly as much as just, like, having the time to sit there and poke around. Because, like, Team Innocent's great. Like, it's a great game, but you do have to sit there and really take the time to figure out what's going on in that game. Maybe not only that, you just gotta like be willing to walk around and be willing to like trial and error your way through. Did these guys move? I don't remember them being so close together. This also, the door, because I thought the closest door was close. Is this actually a different area? Maybe just all the rooms outside this place look the same as what it is. And they all go out there too. Yeah, because the tiger layout's different. Okay. Here's the bed house, I guess. And here's the empty house. I guess this could be like a warehouse or something. Do the tigers have anything on them? I don't think they do. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do like a quick play for Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer stuff. It's always hard with stuff like God Eater and Final Fantasy 15 where it's like, oh, I don't know when is like an okay point to like talk about this significantly, because like I got to the point in Final Fantasy 15 where I probably felt pretty good about talking about it, and then I just like broke open another part of that game. I was like, oh, I guess I need to learn about this part of the game too now. So maybe like after I beat the first story, I'll swap over to it or something. I think I went into both houses. If not, probably it's not that big of a deal that I did it. So, okay, bear man. I might, because I don't have to go to sleep for work tomorrow, I might play some Final Fantasy 15 after this, honestly. I might go on my way to, like, continuing the Final Fantasy 15 thing. I might buy the movie for Kingsglaive. I feel like it's very valuable filling in the gaps for Final Fantasy 15, considering, like, how bare that story was. Like, or at least how I feel it's kind of bare. Like, I feel like I probably would get stuff out of consuming more about it. I know you feel differently, Zero. Okay, so here's the question. I don't think that dot on the top left was there before. So, oh no, that's where I came in from. So there's the town. Let's do the tent real quick and then see if they give me some advice through the tent. The Brotherhood anime on Blu-ray is actually kind of pricey. I was kind of surprised. Eastgate to get Rubia back. Okay. So, Eastgate is on the west side of this area. Which is silly. Final Fantasy 15 is a dead media at this point, but it is interesting that they keep doing some stuff. Yeah, I am very happy with the downloadable content though. I do think it's really worth the time. It's less than 10 hours to play through all of it, so I just think the last 8 hours of 15 is like generally good, outside of the fact that it's like, you know, fast tracked. Where I can't say that I love the first 20 hours of that game. Sometimes it's nice to have it physical, because someday, like, that YouTube copy will be gone. And, you know, you can pirate it, and you can steal it from their YouTube if you want. But sometimes it's nice to have it there. Like, have a physical copy that's there. I have no internet, I can watch it. But yeah, you could probably just use, like, YouTube 4K download or whatever, and download the anime from there. But it is more pricey than I thought it would be. I don't know if I'm willing to drop the money on it that the Blu-ray is on eBay or whatever right now, because I don't think they actively sell it. Where I think Kingsglaive, they kind of overproduced that. You can get like for $15 or something like that. And then I want to get the Castlevania anime. So. I think the big thing though, like after I finish up the Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer stuff, is I think I just kind of want to get away from Final Fantasy. Like I feel like I've been stuck in like a Final Fantasy hole for a while, and I kind of just like. Final Fantasy and Xenoblade, I just want to play, I think, a different JRPG. I mean, I'm guessing playing Tales of the Tempest right now, but, you know, Tales of the Tempest is fine. I wanted to play this game, and I'm glad I'm playing it. It's maybe not the greatest JRPG in the world. Better than I expected. But, you know, I can side jump. Better than expected. I can't control this video game now. Ah, jeez, I hate it when they get around you like that. I kind of just want to play another, like, unique JRPG that I have not played before. Like, it doesn't have really any ties with the stuff I'm already involved with. So, like, part of me is like, yes, I want to go, like, into Final Fantasy 14. Yes, I want to play Phantasy Star game. I've been thinking about Phantasy Star Universe again for some reason. But, like, maybe I should just play something new. I'm thinking about Shining Resonance. I also have Tokyo Xanadu, but that's more like an action RPG thing. Although I think Shining Resonance also has like an action element to its game as well. I've got the Chrono Trigger. That's what I'm thinking about as well. But the thing with Chrono Trigger is that it's more of a... I think I talked about this with you recently, but it's more like a commitment play than anything. Where it's like, yes, I need to eventually play Chrono Trigger. And I actually don't know a lot about Chrono Trigger. I know the music from Chrono Trigger because every internet YouTuber in like the mid-2000s to late 2000s, or I guess in the late 2000s, used Chrono Trigger music for their videos. But I don't actually like, I don't actually know Chrono Trigger super well. So, oh, time to talk to Telkis. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I keep thinking about replaying Xenosaga, but I need to not do that. Xenosaga, I think, is very different from Xenoblade, so I'm not too terribly worried about that overlapping. But I don't want to play through Xenosaga again. That's like 130 hours of JRPG. Here's the romantic development. Yeah. Well, it's 3 JRPGs 0. So it probably would be longer than it'd probably be about 130 hours. Like Xenosaga 2 is very short. Yeah, it's one of those things where like with Chrono Trigger, like maybe the same way I feel about like Xenogears, where it's just like this JRPG is fine. It maybe would have been great when it came out, but in the modern context of what it is, it's fine. And it's really silly to like get caught up on that stuff because like sometimes I think about games like, hey, in the context of when this came out, this is really cool. But then other times I think it's really games that get a lot of praise. I'm probably a bit more strict on them than I need to be. Like, I'm a little harsh on Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I don't know if the Super Mario World 2 is actually the Japanese thing or the US thing. I always get confused. But Yoshi's Island, I'm a little harsh on that game. But it's probably a great game. And like when you look at it in the context of the Mario franchise, it's actually really interesting to see the roots of like Super Mario 64 in some ways in that game. I feel like I say this as somebody who didn't like. I only played Super Mario World as a kid, so maybe some of that stuff started out earlier. I should have saved. Hopefully I don't die. What's funny, Zero? thank you. But are you gonna give me Rubia? Oh no, Rubia. She's racist. I assumed if they just like threatened to kill Rubia, they probably would still give him the pendant. Okay, there we go. I like Lucas. Caius is my son, probably. Or something. I don't know, brother. Ow. I'm attacking the thing because I'm reading the chat. Yeah, like I give like Tales of the Tempest a ton of lenience, but that's because what it is probably. You know. But I will never tell you that Yoshi Island is a bad game. And if I do say that, I am misspeaking. So like I may it may be something I'm maybe not particularly great with words. Says the man who makes videos and writes stuff. But like if I ever say a game's bad, very rarely. It would take a lot for me to actually think a video game is a bad game. Unless we're talking about like Lady Santa, which I have my own fascination with Lady Santa. I need TP. Let me get some TP. I think Orange Gel is TP. Yeah, it's 3 rows, so it's not your traditional Tales fighting system, at least from this time, because I think at this point all the Tales games were on the linear line system, right? Whereas all horizontal stuff. I don't know if that was just Tales of Symphonia, or if that was like all of them. Whoops. So it's a little weird, because like I tried to do that like stab down, like that multi-stab thing like this, but in order to do that, I have to press down and B, and so like sometimes I press down and B and I end up facing that way and stabbing the thing. I just don't think it's like super well thought out. I don't know if the other DS Tales games like use this combat at all. I think eventually the Tales games got to just like, like full 3D combat. I could be wrong about that, but. You know, it's funny because actually, like, I thought I did not like Yoshi's Island. Like, my memory of Yoshi's Island was very, I would say negative, but I recently went back and, or by recently, maybe like a year ago or so, I went back and read my old Yoshi's Island, like, I guess it was a review. I don't really know what I called it at the time. I don't think it was like a full review. I think it was just kind of me writing my thoughts on the game. I actually enjoyed the game a lot. Like, I specifically said in there, like, the back half of the game got really good. And I was like, oh, I don't remember that at all. So, that's the kind of nice thing about writing stuff is I can be like, oh, apparently I remember stuff better when I just played it versus years later. Okay, so they did do 3D combat, so yeah. I don't know if I'll ever play another Tales game, but I keep thinking about it. This is the Tales game for me, though. I think Tales of Innocence got a fan translation as well. I don't know if that got, or not. Is it Tales of Innocence? What's the second DS one? I don't know what that one's called. Are you my brother? Your younger brother, Caius. Didn't we see him earlier, though? Like, didn't Caius see his face earlier? Lucas. I'm sure we'll have to kill him later, and then it'll be a very touching scene. Does that zoom out? I like how she's still playing up the dear brother thing. Like, when there's no reason for her to. We're not camouflaging anymore, yet she still calls Tilkus her brother. Which ones have you played, Shuri? I'm always curious. Like, there's so many Tales games that, like, it seems like people always end up playing different ones. The big ones being Symphonia. What's the most recent one? Mysteria. And there's the PS2 one that got ported. Abyss? Tales of the Abyss? Is that one? No, Tales of the Abyss is an anime. This dude with red hair. I forget what it's called. It got a 3DS port. I remember that. Oops, let's get that text. This area. Oh, so Tales of Abyss. Sorry, I was thinking. What am I thinking of? What's the thing with the little cat people? It has the Electrobits artist who does the art for it. It's not. Was there a Tales of the Abyss anime kind of thing? I'm not thinking of that though. Tales of the Abyss. No, Tales of the Abyss is the game. You guys are right. What am I thinking of? It's like the little kids and minor stuff. I'm thinking of something else entirely. Video games. Well, not video game. I'm thinking of a very popular anime that I cannot remember the name of. Also, I lost the chat. There we go. It's back. Welcome back, chat. Zelia, Graces, and Abyss. Okay. Graces. Oh, people like Graces. I think Zero liked Graces a lot, right? Made in Abyss. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. I think we may have talked about Made in Abyss very temporarily, Josh. So I think we were talking about how I thought it was like all little furry children, but it actually is like normal children and just one furry thing. I'm surprised I haven't heard that much about Tails anime. Did Persona 5 get an anime? I remember Persona 4 did. Anime. I love it. I don't watch much of it at all. I have not watched the Valkyria Chronicles anime at any point. They kill Vice in it. I can't watch it. Okay, Persona 5 did have an anime. Okay. Tales of the World Radiant Mythology. Is Tales of the World Radiant Mythology one of the PSP games? One day I'll play Persona game, but instead I have two mocking games. I have the same game twice instead. The smarter thing to do. Persona 4 got 2 animes. Okay. Is this... Oh, that's just rubble. All this rubble looks like towns to me. Let's turn it up. Let's get some cutscene, more cutscene going. I assume there's probably more dialogue. Oh, they're bad? I didn't know they were bad. You know what? I may have talked about this before. I love the Zelda cartoon of like, and like, not ironically, I think the Zelda cartoon is really cool. It's like, it has a really different feeling from, like, aside from the whole, excuse me, princess, like the flow of the show and like how things are approached in that show are really unique in terms of like the Zelda series, because like Zelda's all about adventure, and the Zelda cartoon is not about adventure at all. It's all about staying in one place. I should probably play Tales of Berseria, but I probably never will. Like, I just think about the types of games I play. Like, the fact I'm sitting here playing Tales of the Tempest is probably a good enough sign that I'll never play Tales of Berseria. It's just not what I do, man. It seems cool, though. I like the main character. I love her starting outfit, actually. Like, part of the reason I want to play, like, maybe most of the reason I want to play that game is that her starting outfit is really cute. I like it a lot. It's like that little, just like the farm wear she's wearing or whatever, and she has her hair, like, kind of, like, braided down and stuff. I like that outfit a ton, and if there's, like, DLC to buy that outfit and play the game with that, I will probably buy that outfit and play the game with that. Yeah, I have a podcast where we talked about it, actually, somewhere. I don't remember what episode it was. It more or less was just me being like, huh, that's kind of like Tales of Symphonia. And he's like, I've never played Symphonia, but this is how the game works. And I'm like, huh, yeah, that's kind of like Tales of Symphonia. But I think for me, if I were to play like a mainline Tales, it would be like mainline Tales. I don't know. Is Tales of the Tempest not considered a mainline Tales? Like, what is a mainline Tales? Anything that's on console? I don't know. Anyways, but I think if I were to play a actual good Tales game, this isn't a bad game. This may be very average. If I were to play an actual Tales game, though, I'd probably play Hysteria, I think. That game has a presentation I like a lot, so. Good, I don't have to buy the costume. Can I wear it from the start, or do I have to, like, New Game Plus it? Because that's probably, like, my least favorite thing in any game, is when you beat the game, like, here's a bunch of outfits, and I'm like, I could have used this the entire time you were playing the game already. I don't think I own any other Tales games. I think it's just Symphonia and this. I don't think I've ever bought another one. Okay. Well, if someday I ever play that game, I will for sure wear that outfit, probably. I pretty much played all of, I wish this game would give you a map on these dungeons, or these forests. I played all of Metal Gear Solid Rising using the sombrero hat thing. I did not wear the sombrero hat thing in Final Fantasy 15. I think I cared too much about the story cutscenes looking good. I find that I care about that more nowadays. Like, whenever I was playing Bloodstained, I had the Lilith soul on all the time. So every time I killed a boss, I would immediately try to switch out of that so I could get my actual clothes during the cutscenes. And then, like, I wouldn't wear headgear that looked really silly or something like that. I don't know why that suddenly started bothering me so much. Although in God Eater, it's really silly when, like, there's a very emotional cutscene. Your character's, like, sitting there with a bunch of garbage on their face. You're like, yeah, this is fine. Maybe because God Eater's, like, a very, frivolous story, maybe. Like I don't really expect God Eater to blow my shoes off in terms of story. It's all about, like, I guess it's more about character development, God Eater, and so it doesn't matter too much, like, how, like, the drama of the scene doesn't matter too much. Although there is a really good scene in God Eater 2 that I was gonna say what it was, but it's a spoiler, so never mind. But there's a really good scene in God Eater 2 I like a lot. That's very very melodramatic and has, like, some quality Sega-style vocals during it and stuff, and it's real good. God Eater has some real good music, which took me a while to figure that out, because when I played the original God Eater, I did not have any sound. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Kind of make your own character thing is a bit more, it maybe seems more flexible. Zero would know the answer to that better than I would on the customization stuff. I don't know anything about the demo stuff. There are clothes in 15, and maybe there's a larger variety, but I never really came across them. There's maybe like 5 sets of clothes from what I remember, 5 to 10. I did unlock more clothes by doing the DLC, but I've already, you know, kind of wrapped up my time with the main game at that point, so I don't think I'll go back to the main game for Final Fantasy 15. I think I'll probably focus on the multiplayer. Probably is not the smart decision, but I'm having a good time. I do like I don't know, there's something more endearing about having your create a character, I feel like, in a grindy game like that. Like I care a lot more about the photo feature in that game when it's my create a character versus just like, you know, the random shots of the boys kind of thing. As much as I love the boys, I love Prompto and Ignis. I maybe don't care as much for Gladio, and I maybe don't care as much for Noctis, but Prompto and Ignis are very good characters. The cutscene with Prompto and his DLC made me all teary-eyed. I do really like that whole sequence. It's probably I don't want to say it's my first, second, or third favorite cutscene in the game, like in order, but it is probably my top 3 cutscenes in that game. The one with Prompto and the by the fire pit thing, when he's like talking about his origins and stuff, and like what Noctis will think about it, and things like that. And then there's like a really sweet scene with Noctis later where he's like trying to make Prompto feel better. Oh, I like it so much. Noctis doesn't, I don't think Noctis does a particularly good job trying to make him feel better, but he tried. It made me feel like a very insensitive way to make Prompto feel better, actually, but it's okay. Like, I feel like that was maybe the intention of it, that like maybe Noctis didn't have the best delivery of it, but Prompto appreciated it, kind of thing. I don't remember any cat ears. I'm trying to recall if there's anything. They did have like a bunch of stuff that I was like came out through events. Like there's the Assassin's Creed event, and I don't think you can get the Assassin's Creed stuff anymore. I don't know if they have like a thing in the game where you can go back and do different events, stuff like that. Ignis's was like, I really like what happened with Ignis in the Extraverse thing, because like it was, I do feel like maybe it broke Ignis's character a little bit, but overall I thought it was interesting to see Ignis kind of be how he was in that like fight with Arden, in terms of like what he was willing to give up to help Noctis. And we haven't had any problems killing the ogres earlier, right? And all of a sudden now we care. I like this battle theme. I like the battle music in this game quite a bit, actually. It's maybe nothing amazing, but it's fine. Let's get some TP. I'm capped out on lemon gels. I think that goes TP. Nope, that's HP. Pineapple? No. I can't use items yet. Ah! Oops, turn around, please. Back out of here. I know orange gel is TP, so I'm gonna guess pineapple gel is TP. There we go. Whoops. Whoops. Doing a great job. I don't really have anything that combos with Rising Falcon. Oh, there's that one demo that they put out where you're like a little kid walking around. Is that the one you're talking about? I actually don't know anything about that demo. I don't think you can get it anymore. I think there is actual story stuff in that thing, but they didn't. Like, I don't think you can play that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'd have to go look at the PlayStation Store to see what's available for download. What time is it? It's 9. Okay. Oh, hello, child. Oh no, we have to kill this child to let us go free. Oh, I forgot my PS2. Bye. Stand up So one thing I've noticed on the text in this game, and I don't know if this is something to do with how I'm rendering this out, but I do feel like some of the letters have like elements of it that are squashed. Like if you look up there at the top of the screen where area is, like the eye, like the top of the eye feels like it should be 2 pixels higher than that. And I think the text in the main screen is larger, and so that's why the eye on the width at the second line there is fine. But if you look at the J in just, that's actually flattened out. So I wonder if because of how I'm putting the screens out not at like a 2x resolution, but like somewhere in between that. So I wonder if some of the lines are getting, or some of the like pixels are getting crushed essentially. Trying to think if this, yeah, so like you can see so like I know this is very vivid, like interesting dialogue on this, but like you can see on the right here, I'm pointing at the screen because that's smart, but like if you look at where in using on the right side of the screen there where the N is, and then in technique the N down the left there, the N is like crushed on top. So I think we're like crushing pixels in some cases here, which is, I guess, the downside to trying to stretch this out to fit full screen. Let me see if it looks that way on the bottom screen, actually. If it does, I can barely tell. So. So maybe the better thing to do is just to do 1x and then just stretch this in OBS. That means I would get a smaller screen on my side, but it's not a huge deal if I have a smaller screen. That being said, while I was trying to figure that out, I did not pay attention to maybe the last 10 dialogue boxes. Something about a war. Rest in peace, Alec. It's hard reading dialogue while you're streaming, honestly. That's the one bad thing about doing an RPG on stream, is that it's very easy to just kind of get lost in what you're doing. Which is part of the reason why, like, earlier we're in the desert, I'm like, I don't know where I need to go next. Let's use the tent, because literally they told us to go east and I was not paying attention. That's why, you know, like, all those streamers on YouTube get, or not streamers, but like people who do Let's Plays on YouTube, like the Game Grump people or whatever, Game Grumps, Aaron and Dan get lost all the time because they're too busy thinking about other garbage. That desert head southwest. Okay. Is Jana just the town we were in earlier at the beginning of this thing? Let's explore up here because we have plenty of time. Just stuff here. I think Aquamarine's probably a defense against water kind of thing. Pots. But yeah, like, that's part of the reason why I'm like, hey, if we play another RPG on stream, it's gonna be Quest 64. Because Quest 64 is a video game that probably doesn't need much reading. But it's also why I'm like, you know, a little, I know like some people want me to stream Japanese games, but like Japanese games require an intense amount of patience and willingness to try to sit there and absorb what's happening. And on a stream, that's probably not going to happen for me. I will probably not be able to tell what's going on. Versus if I just play by myself, probably going to have a better time trying to figure out what's going on. Can I sleep in here? Yeah, let me sleep in here, please. I was betrayed by Rubia earlier, kind of. Everyone else is okay, though. Oh, there's the kid. Alright. Let's save. Last Remnant, we might end up, or not Last Remnant, Last Rebellion. I might stream that. That's a short RPG. Anything under 20 hours is probably going to be pretty reasonable to stream, I think, for RPGs, but I try to keep variety, so I'll try not to do back-to-back RPGs or anything like that, probably. I hope I have money to buy stuff. Oh no. A side quest. I hope whatever she wants I already have. I'd have to go to the library. I don't know if I have the willingness to go up and down the desert once again. Alright. Let's see. So, definitely buy one for Caius. Buy one for what's-his-face. Buy that for him. I need 2 of these. Rubia is a intentionally not trying to help me. Alright. This is supposedly about 12 hours long. So assuming we account for the fact that I ran around a desert for probably an extra hour on accident, whoops. We'll take a look at the counter for that here in a second. Wait, what? Oh, it's this one right here. I got a nice chunk of weapons I can sell, actually. The counter is currently at 9-ish hours, so let's say we're at 8-ish, maybe about 2/3. You might know better than me, Zero, given that you've seen this game before. But I actually have no idea how long this game... Well, I mean, I have an idea of how long this game is based off what I use the website How Long to Beat, and it's a really great website. If there's enough data, like the problem with the Final Fantasy 15 downloadable content, or like multiplayer stuff for that site, I think I accidentally sold an accessory I did not want to sell, but it's too late. Problem with like the Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer stuff is like there's not enough data on there, so like the time range varies so wildly that the average time is like 60 hours, but it's like because somebody put like 20 hours in, the other person put like 120 hours in. So okay. I feel like somebody did an armor upgrade at some point. I think it's her, because it's such an improvement on her current armor. Forest. Thankfully we can afford gear for everybody this time around. But in terms of, you know, how much time is actually left, I don't know at this point. If I get lost in another desert, then maybe it will be longer. Okay. We'll keep Area in the party for now. I took her out of the party because she seemed like she was a bad healer, but it seems like all the AI is maybe just a bad healer, so. I haven't really messed with the upgrading weapon stuff either, but I don't know if I really need to. It's one of those things where it's like, because I know I'm going to replace these weapons. I guess I just bought these, so... Question is how do I even upgrade weapons? Because there's that text box at the very beginning of the game, and then I have no idea after that. So I'm going to guess this gives me fire. Are these all just elemental? If I recall correctly, I can do elemental and I can do status ailments. So like I can add poison to stuff. I can add paralysis to stuff. So let's add this. Let's just add all the paralysis to this, I guess. I don't know if that increases the paralysis chance or... There, perfect. Seal makes they seal. What does stone do? Add stone effect to weapons. I feel like in any kind of status effects where like something stops moving for a while, that's a valuable thing. Usually I would never use these things, but I feel for the sake of the stream, we will do it. That's probably good. We probably did a good thing. Okay, that was the weapon shop. I don't know if these go to different places or not. Did I save? I think I did save. How much time do we have left? We got 15 minutes. We can probably get out of the forest in 15 minutes. Oh, apparently that's not the way I need to go. Kill some more ogres. But yeah, if we're 2/3 of the way through the game, I'd probably expect at least 2 or 3 more streams. Probably, that's what I'd expect. So I do need to prepare something. I'm looking at a few things. I'll probably do a shorter game in between, like usual. So maybe like the girl and the robot, which I know I've talked about before. Gun Valkyrie is also quite a short game, from what I understand. So that might not be an issue to do that as like an in-between game instead of like a full game. I do want to do, I keep blanking on the name of it. Is it Last Survivor or something like that? Last Survivor. Left Alive. I looked at the name earlier this week because I think Alex sent it to me. I was like, oh yeah, let me look up this and see how much it costs. Okay. They said Southwest, so yeah, that's the town I was in at the beginning of this game, this stream. We may not make it back down to that town by the end of this stream, actually. This desert is very long. Left Alive is what it's called, maybe? Anyways, but yeah, or is Left Alive the PlayStation 3 game, disaster game, that was released on PlayStation Network? Oh man, I'm remembering this game now. I never bought that game. I kind of want to buy it now. I'm trying to remember, it's an Ubisoft game, and it was around the time Disaster Day of Crisis was announced. And I was like, well, maybe not an announcement, but around the time Disaster Day of Crisis came out, and like digital games by like, you know, large platform holders was finally becoming a thing. And that was one of the, it was originally going to be like a full product, and then eventually they scaled down the product to be some digital game. And I remember it being not very good review-wise, and back then I used to care about reviews more than I do now. It's not Disaster Report. It's a Ubisoft game, third-person shooter, I believe. It is a disaster-based game, though. I was very interested in that game, Disaster Report, and Disaster Day of Crisis, mainly because of Disaster Day of Crisis. Yeah, definitely not Disaster. I might look up the name here in a second because it's killing me. I feel like I recently have had trouble remembering game names more than usual, but maybe that's just me imagining things. Okay. Let's look this up. Left Alive. Okay, Left Alive is the PS4 game. So what am I thinking of? Ubisoft. PS3 disaster game. That's actually gonna probably give me something else. I Am Alive is what it's called. It came out in 2012, but it was announced in like I think a lot earlier than that. In 2008 it was announced, and it went through development hell, and eventually came out 4 years later, and sure was a video game. I may, after this, go buy that game. I completely forgot about that game. It's kind of sad that the PlayStation 3 and stuff doesn't really seem to get sales that often anymore. Especially since there's a lot of stuff on there I still want to check out. Moondivers won on PlayStation Network on PlayStation 3. And I'm very scared that PS3 is going to shut down sooner than... I don't know. I would not be surprised if tomorrow Sony was like, hey, we're shutting down our PS3 stuff. Like, they really don't have any investment in that space anymore. Unless they decide to do something with, like, PS5. But given the architecture of PS3, I get the feeling that... Sony won't be doing anything for a long time with emulating that thing. But maybe I'm wrong. It'd be great. It'd be great if they were like, hey, put your PS3 disc into your PS5 and everything works. I just don't expect that to happen. It was one of those things that like when you know Phil Spencer at E3 this year was talking about the backwards compatibility thing with Xbox. You know, I really can appreciate like how he feels about backwards compatibility. But the backwards compatibility that they want, you know, where they have to, you know, manually create, like they have to go out of their way to get, you know, developers to relist their games or something. That will never be like a full backwards compatibility, some licensing and stuff like that. And so it's like really cool that Full Spectrum Warrior is available in 4K. I love Full Spectrum Warrior so much, and it's awesome you can play that game, you know, running on an Xbox One X, looking, I would assume, amazing. As amazing as an Xbox game running in 4K can look, and like a realistic Xbox game at that. It's really cool that's around, and I'm glad Microsoft's doing it. But at the same time, it's just also like, until emulation gets to where it needs to be with a lot of these consoles, like having original hardware is going to be valuable still. So I may buy it. I may do that. I will seriously consider it, because if I don't buy it now, there's a very good chance I'll forget about it and then not buy it later. And that is a game I always wanted to play, and I just kind of forgot about it because it came out, and I remember reviewing pretty badly, and I was like, ah. I also didn't have as much money back then, so I had to be a bit more careful with where I was putting my money. Nowadays, I can kind of do what I want. I am kind of split this month though, or this upcoming month in September, because Gun Gun Pixies is coming out, and then also the Gunvolt spin-off game is coming out too. And the problem with the Gunvolt spin-off game is I still have Dragon March for Death sitting right here on my desk. Literally have not put that game in once. So part of me is like, you need to play through that before you get that Gunvolt game. And so the only reason I feel that way though is because it's an Inti Creates game. If it was like genre-wise, they're completely different. Like right now, what what Dragon Marked for Death would scratch is what Final Fantasy 15's multiplayer is already scratching for me. So reality is I'm probably not getting back to Dragon Marked for Death for a while. Between that and then, you know, I do want to get back to Final Fantasy 14, and there is the potential that Phantasy Star Online 2 might happen again, and then also Final Fantasy 11 is always on the cards as well, of doing more stuff in there, like that kind of grindy RPG thing. It's a busy space for me in video games. Not so much because there's a lot of games like it that I really want to play, but because the games I do want to play take up so much time. We're gonna use a tent here real quick, and then we'll go into the city, and then I think we have time to do whatever's going on here. Worst case scenario, I don't have work tomorrow, so I'm not too concerned if we stay up a bit later than usual. Although, Alex, I do know you need to get to sleep at some point because it is late there. It's like 12:30 at night. Although I shouldn't say you need to get to sleep. It's I'm not your dad. Telling you to go to bed. Yeah, video games are happening again. Madden came out. It's time for video games. Alright. Let's tent real quick. Tent up. I do want to still try to get up relatively early tomorrow so I don't feel like I wasted my entire day off. So if I wake up at like 3 o'clock, then it's kind of like, eh. Excuse me. Apparently I am tired though. Yeah, Madden. I need to get a Madden I'll play someday. The Wii, one of the Wii ones. I'd be curious to play that. That and Ice Shield 21 I want to pick up. Dulles kind of looks like my dad. He looks a lot like my dad. Or my fake dad, rather. I think he has the same body and hair model, but maybe not the same face. Oh, do I have to fight as Forest? The lion fighting stuff is a little weird. Just basically just smash A because you do so much damage. It doesn't even matter. Oh, rest in peace, YouTube. Okay, none of the dialogue changed, so we're good. Or at least that dude's dialogue didn't change. I'm gonna guess the weapons aren't updated. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm probably wrapping up here in a second anyways, Alex. You don't need to worry too much about it if it's giving you trouble. I was worried that the chat wasn't going to work earlier. If you saw earlier, I did like a test message because I accidentally, but like I forgot the password to my Restream account and I had to restart it and I wasn't sure if the YouTube integration or the chat integration would break. So, alrighty. I don't know. There's probably a place to save here. Somewhere. Pineapple gel. But yeah, that's probably it for tonight. I appreciate you guys all coming. Surprised so many people showed up again. It seems weird. Like sometimes it seems like people just come in like a giant group. I don't know if there's like a particular reason why. There was that time I was doing that Resident Evil 7 stream and I had like 11 people in here. I was like, oh boy. Or at least it felt like 11 people. I could be wrong. Where's the inn? Jeez. But yeah, I might do some test streaming stuff this weekend. I'm not sure. I needed test streaming for my laptop where I did the capture of the, what's it called? So if you see me pop out on the weekend, I might be doing that. Especially since it's a long weekend, I might take the time to do that, but it just depends on how busy I get. Sometimes I kind of try to treat Saturday as a, oh, you know what? This is the inn. I'm a dummy. Is there a save spot in here? There's not. We'll just go save outside of town and come back in. But yeah, so maybe I'll stream a little bit more over the weekend. We'll see. Undecided. Unscheduled stream. I don't know if I'll announce it anywhere. Might just post it on Twitter and be like, yeah, I'm here. Hello. Oh, 9.5 hours? So, getting there. Supposedly 3-ish more hours. It does feel like the story's kind of coming to a climax to some extent. Or at least it feels like we're kind of rushing towards one. So, but yeah. I forget the best way to exit out of this. I think not going to the Wii menu, or not going into that virtual console menu and then closing from here will keep the save state. But yeah, thanks for coming. If you're watching the VOD, I guess I should plug stuff. OneControlReport.com is the website. Up on the website this week, there's a quick play for... Is there a quick play up this week? I don't think there's a quick play up this week, actually. There's a pickups video. I did a video about my pickups, just kind of walked through a bunch of my stuff, and so talked about some Mach and Shao, talked about some sort of Ateria, Whiskey, stuff like that. There will be a Whiskey quick play next week, and then the week before I did a quick play for Windy X Wyndham. So that's up there, and then Hunex Fighters 98 still kind of the main content on the website. So if you haven't watched that, you can go do that. Although I imagine I've said it enough these times so far that everybody who's gonna watch that Hunex Fighters 98 video, excuse me, at least if you're watching this, you probably have already seen it. But if not, it's there. Feel free to watch it. But yeah. But that's it for this week. Thanks for coming. Hope you guys have a great night. Bye.
Oh, you get all that loud, crackly sound because I forgot to stop the stream before I moved the mic.